I remember my friend telling me that it was this guy who said he was talking about me, and he said, she's really cute if she would just keep her mouth closed. At the time, I act like it didn't bother me because that's what I was taught. Sticks and stones may break my bone. That phrase to me meant I'm not allowed to let words hurt me. I'm not allowed to let it bother me. And I have to act like I'm okay with it, even if it's just to myself. I can't tell anybody. So I went on through life just brushing it off and, not thinking anything of it. But really, I was hurt by that, and it ruined my confidence. I didn't want that to be the first thing people noticed about me, but it was. Hey y'all, it's Lisa Charnay, and I'm back with another video. So as you can see, I'm starting a 5-part series called Hurt to Heal. I thought of this idea because a while back I read a book called Finding Love After Heartbreak. And in the book, well, first of all, I was deceived because I thought I had unlocked the keys, child. I thought I unlocked the keys to find my Mr. Right, but come to find out, the book was actually about healing your own wounds first and loving yourself first before you find that in someone else. And one of the main ideas of the book is to write a who hurt you list. The meaning behind the who hurt you list is to write down anybody or any situation that you still feel hurt from or that you feel you haven't moved on from. And you write down everybody that you can think of, anybody that pops up in your head, even if it's from elementary school, anybody. Write it down, and then you write a letter to that person or about the situation to get your feelings out. And if you're really bold, you could send it to the person. I ain't there yet, but maybe we'll see. So instead, I decided it would be cool for me to make videos on each thing on my list, and that's my way of getting everything out. So this first episode is Sticks and Stones. Now, I know we all heard the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, right? So let's just acknowledge that that's BS. Words hurt. Words hurt me, and I'm sure we've all been hurt by something someone has said or, something we were made fun of about. And I know for me personally, I was always teased about my teeth. Now, I want to say the first time someone brought it to my attention, I was, I think, 3rd grade. And me, I had never had any problem with my smile or my teeth or in general until I heard someone else say it. And that's kind of where the insecurity started with me. In elementary, even though I was teased, it didn't bother me as much then. I think just because I was more confident and I just didn't take it serious, And it didn't really faze me until I got to middle school, because that's around the age when you're dating and you're looking at boys, and that was the first thing that boys noticed about me. So I viewed it as something negative because in my eyes that was holding me back from getting what I actually wanted, which was a boyfriend at the time. I remember my friend telling me that it was this guy who said he was talking about me, and he said, she's really cute if she would just keep her mouth closed. So at the time, I act like it didn't bother me because that's what I was taught. Sticks and stones may break my bone. That phrase to me meant I'm not allowed to let words hurt me. I'm not allowed to let it bother me, and I have to act like I'm okay with it, even if it's just to myself. I can't tell anybody. So I went on through life just brushing it off and, not thinking anything of it. But really, I was hurt by that, and it ruined my confidence because I didn't want that to be the first thing people noticed about me, but it was. That's just how people remember me. And it always held me back, I think. And I had a aha moment in therapy. Pretty much, we were talking about my fear of rejection, just fear in general of me putting myself out there and why I don't feel comfortable being myself around people that I don't know. And I just blurted out, when I was younger, I always got teased about my teeth, so I just stayed quiet because I figured if I stay quiet, people won't see it and then they won't discuss it. So I didn't even realize that I internalized that moment. Me being teased about, 10 years? Not even 10, Lord, I'm getting old. me being teased back in middle school is still haunting me today. It's still shaping the way I think of myself and the way I act around people. And it's crazy. Like I never thought about it like that, because I'm not really a shy person. People who know me personally know that I'm nowhere near shy. But people who don't know me, the first thing they're gonna say is, "Oh, she's quiet, she doesn't talk." But that's why. That was me protecting myself. I felt that's my safe zone. If I don't talk, if I just sit in this corner and mind my business, ain't nobody gonna mess with me. And that's just how I adapted through life since then. So even though I wanted to be outgoing and I wanted to make friends and I wanted to do certain activities that put me in the spotlight, I felt like if I'm in the spotlight, then that opens me up for people to judge me or for people to talk about me. So that's scary. And I'm still holding on to that. I remember a while back, it was me, my mom, my aunt, and my cousin. We were in the room, and I forgot what we were talking about, but it was along the lines of looks. And I remember saying, I don't think that I look good, but I'm straight. I'm okay. I'm decent. And everybody kind of just got quiet. And I remember my aunt telling me, like, no, you're supposed to think that you're the most beautiful person in the world. Nobody can tell you different. That's the kind of confidence that you have to have. And I looked at her and I was like, no, I'm okay. I'm straight. As if, like, I was accepting what other people said about me. I never thought I was ugly. I always had confidence. But when I started hearing it from everybody around me, and it really wasn't everybody, but at the time it felt like it. When I started hearing that, and even though they never really called me ugly, but I know I wasn't getting dates because of my teeth. That was distracting from my looks either way. So I just grouped it all together and I adapted to that. I accepted that identity. Okay, well, I guess I'm not that pretty. Even though I didn't feel like I was ugly, everybody else felt it, so I guess I must be. And that's where that low self-esteem started. From being told that from everybody around me. And I had friends at the time who would sit there and laugh. And I think that was the most hurtful. I really felt alone because the people who were my friends or who were around me, they never stood up for me when I got teased. They didn't contribute to it, but they laughed. Or they would tell me and come back and be like, oh, well, such and such said this about you. And that's another thing that always bothered me. I hate for people to tell me something someone else said about me. And that's still true today. Because what's your purpose for that? Are you really looking out for me, or do you want a reaction out of me? Do you want to make me feel worse than what I already feel? Because what benefit does that get what benefit is it for you to tell me something negative that someone else is saying about me? Obviously that's going to make me feel bad. And if you're a friend, you shouldn't want that. And I had people around me that constantly would come back and tell me things, or they would laugh and not stick up for me in the moment. So I just felt like, well, I don't have anybody to talk to about this. Nobody gets it. Nobody understands. So I'm going to keep my mouth closed, but I'm going to keep conducting myself in this manner in order to survive with my surroundings for the time being. And now that's why I'm so shy and guarded. If I'm in a room with people that I don't know and I see somebody whispering or laughing, I automatically think they're talking about me. Like, I'm paranoid. And it causes social anxiety, which I didn't realize that I really had. But now that I think about it, I do. Because I feel uncomfortable around people that I don't know. If I'm invited to go somewhere and it's a whole bunch of people around that I don't know or I'm not comfortable with, I ain't coming. I'm good. I'm good for being like, who all over there? Because if you say the wrong thing, I ain't coming. I'm gonna be right at the house. I ain't coming. But that's not necessarily a good thing, because you never know who you could cross paths with. And if you're scared to meet anybody and you just want to stick to who you know already, you don't really grow from that. So what I've been doing to get myself out of that habit is I've been trying to start conversations with people that I don't normally talk to. Like at work, for example, I always speak to everybody, that's common courtesy. But now I try to take it a step further and just ask a few follow-up questions, just so I could get comfortable with talking to people that I don't usually associate with. And it's been working a little bit. Just little by little, I find someone that maybe I never spoke to, and I just fill them out. And to be honest, it's not that bad. I had to remember that no one is above you. You're human just like I'm human. I shouldn't be intimidated to talk to anybody or be myself around anybody. If they like it, cool. If they don't, then that's cool too. Because I had to realize that, you know, you're not gonna be able to please everybody, and everybody's not gonna like you. You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. And that goes for looks or personality in general. When it comes to friends or meeting guys, there's always somebody who's not gonna like you. And if they don't, it's their loss. Maybe that doesn't mean you're a bad person or it's a reflection of you. You're just not right for that specific person, and that's okay. I'm done with letting others define how I feel about myself or decide what I can do and what I should try. I'm the type of person where I ask opinions from other people whenever I decide to do something new, because I want validation that I'm doing the right thing. And I'm not doing that anymore. Anything that I want to do or try, I'm just going to do it. I can't be worried about what somebody's going to say, or I can't be worried about people seeing me fail either. And that's a hard thing to overcome because, you know, being made fun of, it made me vulnerable to any kind of criticism. So I don't like to put myself out there doing anything that I'm not comfortable or confident in doing. I want to make sure I have it down before I let other people see me. But you can't always do that. And sometimes you do have to try and fail to learn how to do it better the next time. And it's not bad. That's everybody. Everybody's flawed, and everybody doesn't start off knowing how to do things. You have to learn, and you have to work your way up. So that's what I'm doing with this YouTube channel, for example. I know nothing about recording and editing, and it's embarrassing putting my business out here, but I'm learning. I'm learning that it's okay. I'm learning it's okay to not have everything together at this moment. Y'all are watching me grow, and I'm learning as I'm going along, and it's fine. It's gonna be okay. Positive self-talk. This is the game changer right here. People who suffer with anxiety know what I'm talking about. It's like you feel like you always have a voice in your head telling you negative things like, oh, you're not good enough, you're not as good as her, or you're not as talented as her, or you won't be able to do that. They have a different circumstance than you. It won't work for you. You shouldn't try this. Just stick to what you know. And it's hard to overcome that. I read a quote a couple weeks back, and it said, if you talk to your friends the way you talk to yourself, you probably wouldn't have any. And that's so true, because I'm quick to give motivation, and I can find the silver lining in every situation. But when it comes to myself, I'm just like Debbie Downer. And you don't realize you're doing it because you get used to doing it for so long that it just becomes natural. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I became aware. So now what I do to help that is I'll write down every negative thought that I have, and right next to it, I'll find something positive to challenge that thought. And it sounds corny, but it actually does work, because you have to rewire your brain to think differently. And it takes time, and it's hard to break that habit once you're used to it. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with speaking positive instead of always seeing the negative in it. And that's because really, I notice with me, most of my problems are created by me from the way I think. Most of the things that I'm worried about, other people are not caring. Most of the things that I worry about, nobody else cares about. And it's me creating the situation. So I feel like once I can get a hold of the way I think of myself, then the rest will follow. So if you don't get anything out of this video, positive self-talk. Speak life into yourself. It works. So I have a challenge for you guys. I want you all to create your own Who Hurt Me list. And if you don't want to do the whole list, just think of one person or one situation that you know you're still holding on to, and write a letter to that person or scenario and get your feelings out. You don't have to send it to the person if you're not ready, but I feel like it would be valuable to at least write it down, because when you write, it's something about writing things that just makes you make sense of what it is that you're actually feeling and what actually happened and what part you still have a problem with. And it's necessary for healing, because you might not think that it still bothers you, but it probably does if you've never dealt with it. You're responding to that in other ways, but you're still affected, and you're gonna continue to be affected until you heal from that specific situation. So I challenge you to do that. And I'll also leave a link to the book in my description box just in case you want to check it out for yourself. It's a really great read, and it definitely changed my outlook. That was one of the first steps that made me realize I need therapy, and that made me realize I need to love myself before I thought about any man. So just putting that out there. It's a good read. You might want to check it out. All right, that's all I have for the first episode. This is going to be a 5-part series, and I'm going to be uploading every week. I'm going to try to. Y'all hold me accountable. But yeah, thank y'all for watching this video, and hopefully you decide to do the exercise as well. Comment anything you want to share, anything you feel comfortable sharing. Subscribe if you haven't already. And share this video to someone who you feel could benefit from it, because that's what I'm doing this for. Not just to get my own feelings out, but to help others in the process. So please share with anybody that you feel will need it. But I thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.